Hi everybody, it's Kathy here from Kathy Loves to Scrap, and we are doing a Scraplift Crafternoon. That's right, it is a Sunday afternoon and we're joining together with the tribe to scrap this layout from the West London scrapbooker. She is on Instagram and you can check out all her amazing work over there. So I actually chose this layout for us to lift and I really do like it. I like the design of it and I liked how the papers were lifted on top of each other to show the detail of the papers being used. So what I'm doing here is I'm cutting out my squares, preparing to use them on the layout, and they are 2 by 2. So I went through my paper stash and I wanted a green and pink theme, and I cut my first lot and then I realized I actually need 2 of each of them, so I went back and cut another one. Then with what is left, I have, you can see, a circle punch that I'm going to cut out the circles from, and then I have a star die there that you can see that I will cut out the stars to match the design as per the West London scrapbooker's layout. Now I like this layout. This is the type of layout I like, where you're using lots of elements with a little amount of product. So to do my background, I'm going to actually use this cross-hatching brickwork type pattern stencil from Kaisercraft, and I'm using Mowed Lawn as my oxide for the green, and then I'm using the, I can't even remember the name of it, pickled raspberry, is that what it's called? Yes, the pickled raspberry for the picked raspberry for the pink. And I'm just bleeding it across the page. I don't need it to be exact because a lot of it will be covered up, but I just want it to be in the background. And I do like the effect this stencil is having. And it's not exact, and there are join lines in it, but that's okay. As I said, most of it will be covered up. It's just to give the hint of those bricks through onto the layout there. So I've done that now, and I'm just going to clean off that brush there with the excess ink, and then I'm going to just add some pink splatters over here to the right and bleed them over to the green, and then vice versa with the green I'll do it with that. So using my fan brush, I'm finding that the splatters are going on a lot easier now that I've practiced a bit, and I just need to add more water to this green one here to make it sure that it is nice and runny. And there you can see how the green is now being added to that layout and filling in those spaces. And I like that it's a soft splatter, but it actually gets good coverage happening there. Okay, so I'm just going to start layering up my squares now that I have dried it off a little bit with the paper towel, just to take up that extra bit of moisture. And it's just a matter of playing with the squares and putting them down in the correct placement that I want to happen throughout the layout. Now, I did put the squares through my embossing machine, and some of them are round and some of them are like a basket weave brickwork type of pattern on there. That was just to give it a little bit more interest as you're looking at the layout as well. And I'm just shuffling those papers around so that I'm getting a more balanced look with the layout. And I'm liking how this is now in place. So I'm going to quickly add them around and seal them down. And it's just, like people would or could pull out their rulers if they want them exact and line them up accordingly using the rulers and spacing them out. I'm just using my eyeballs to check it. They might not be straight, but that's okay, and I'm okay with that. It is... I then look at like a patchworky, bricky type effect on things, and as long as I've got a border around the outside and these are roughly lining up and meeting each other, I think with the amount of photos that are going on, this will look fine. I'm just making a little shuffle across there to get that spacing right by the one above it, and that will do. So I just put in the last bits now, and that makes all the difference. And I really do like the colour scheme coming together. And I'm sure you have already worked it out that this will be a wicked themed layout based on the colours. So just making sure that that lines up appropriately with the one down below, and also giving that border at the top, which I want around the outside. And you know, these type of layouts, they're actually quite effective when you put them together. Grids always lead for an easy composition. I like how they look on a page, and the overall visual effect is perfect. So as I said, I have my photos ready and I'm putting them on. Now on the original, she had like a rub-on in the background. Originally that's what I was going to try and do. I was going to try and put it onto vellum, but then I've just actually gone and put the photo in. I just think that's fine. I like that photo in there. I like this layout for this photo collage. And it is of myself with the display of Wicked that was in a local gift shop. And I, of course, love Elphaba, always have. I relate to the evil side of Disney and all the evil side of all the characters. I just like them. I think they've got personality. And so that's where I tend to drift towards. So I'm just placing these circles and stars around the layout, popping them up on that paper, and I just love how it emulates the pattern underneath and just gives a hint of raising above, and it makes it just a built-in addition to the layout. Now these photos, as I said, were taken near a display. They were taken in January this year. I was actually quite ill in those photos. I was just barely holding it together. I can't believe how ill I was back in January. But this looks amazing. I love the stars and the circles. It is an easy way to add interest to your layout, but how good does it look? You can do this for any design really. Imagine it for a beach design, imagine it for a landscape just as the original was, imagine it for a family party or something like that. It's just a very, very effective layout that captures the eye by looking at it. And I really do like the mix of the circles and the stars. So I'm just going to punch in some little stars, just the 3 little ones that she also had on her layout. And I have a little star punch that I'm going to use, and I'm just putting those around the layout. See, only 3 like she had. That's perfect for the odds. I love the odds. Now through my thickers and stickers, I found the letters Team Elphaba Always. Now I did have to Frankenstein the Elphaba because I didn't have an E and I didn't have a H, but that's okay because of the style of the foam. I was able to create those with no problem. There you go. That's the layout. Pretty simple, really. A great one for this week. There is a bunch of us playing along. There's up to 11 players now, so there's a lot of variety for you to check out. Tara from the Paper Snob is so great at organising this for us every week, and I am sure there is going to be a layout that you are going to enjoy by watching the playlist. I can't wait to see what everybody else has done in the team. I'll go and check them out. Make sure you do. The playlist will be linked down below, and I hope that you're having a great afternoon scrapping away, and that something that I've done today earned a thumbs up from you. YouTube loves those thumbs up. Keep them coming. Don't forget to check back and see my next video. I have for you recommended right here. Happy scrapping till next time, and see you over there.